What's up, Hermanites? So I just got back from the movies. I went and saw Legion, and let me tell you, I get so angry when I go to the movie theater, and all the coolest parts in the movie are the ones that you see in the previews, okay? And if you haven't seen the previews yet, there's a preview with this old woman, like, climbing on the wall, and like she gets all crazy. There's like a crazy ice cream man, and his arms extend. Another preview shows like a little kid say, like, fooled you, and bites some black guy's neck, who happens to be Tyrese. And so you go to the theater thinking, oh my god, like all these crazy things are going to happen during this movie, and then it's those three things, and only like crazy like things that happen with the people who are possessed by angels. So the movie basically is about this girl who is pregnant, and if her baby is born, it undoes what God wants, which God wanted Michael to go down from heaven and kill the baby, but he decides not to do it. He decides to and actually protect her instead. But they never say like why this baby was so important. Like I kept waiting, like why is the baby so important? Why is the baby so important? Like at least in Dogma, you know, the woman's the last Zion and she has to have her next baby, whatever. They never explain the baby, but the baby is born. I mean, maybe it's just because if the baby is born, it undoes what God's wish is, and God was trying to see who would win, like the good people or the bad people, whatever. This chick's pregnant. The kid from Fast and Furious 3, Tokyo Drift, plays the boyfriend. And it's funny because like you watch movies and you see people who are in other movies, and some of the characters just feel out of place. The guy who played Michael, you did a great job. You are a great actor. The guy who played the boyfriend, Jeep, which first of all, the guy's name is Jeep and the girl's name is Charlie, so what the hell? It makes no sense. Anyways, every time I watch it, I'm like, dude, get in your Mustang and drive away. Get in your Mustang and drive away. Get in your Lancer and drive away. Go throw a football, you know? He seemed kind of out of place in the movie. The guy who played Gabriel was in Wild Hogs, which is an awesome movie if you haven't seen it. I love that movie because I think those four guys together are hilarious. And Tim Allen, my favorite character, obviously Home Improvement, and it reminds me of my dad. So whenever I see Tim Allen movies, usually they're funny and I like them. And he was also in Smokin' Aces. And in those two movies, he plays like a crazy, retarded, just like biker and a crazy, retarded assassin. So you see him in this movie as, you know, Gabriel, the right hand of God, and you know, he's supposed to be like just and righteous and all this other stuff. It just seemed out of place to me. So getting back to the movie. So the movie starts out with the preview where you see the old lady come in and she sits down and, you know, she's like talking and she's being all sweet and stuff, and she orders like this like juicy steak. Basically looks like the meat's still alive. Okay, so she orders the steak and she's there to kill the woman because she's possessed by an angel and they're supposed to kill his baby. So she starts talking to the woman who's actually the waitress in this restaurant, and she's like, you're gonna burn, you're all gonna effing die. And she starts going crazy, and then she like jumps up, she bites some dude's neck, she's climbing on the wall, and she gets killed by all these people with their guns. But it's like, you watch it, okay, taken away from the movie, imagine like that old lady being your grandmother. If that was my grandmother, I would not even be able to like hug her. I'm afraid she's gonna like bite my neck or something. Like she looks like this sweet innocent lady. She comes in, hi, I'm Francine, and she sits down. And the next thing you know, she's like killing people with shark teeth. Oh man, if that was my grandma. I'm sorry, grandma. If that was you, I would not be able to. I like air hug you. I'd be like, hey, what's up? Because I'd be too afraid. Imagine being like 6 years old and your grandma's in a movie and she plays some demon and you're like petrified for life to go hug your grandmother. Oh my god, it'd be so funny. And then like they amp up this like ice cream truck guy in the previews, and so you like see him come. They're all like waiting for like, you know, hell to come attack them, and you hear the ice cream truck and you hear the music and you think like, okay, the ice cream truck guy is coming. He's gonna do something crazy. He basically gets out of the car. His arms extend, his legs extend, and then he starts running towards the house. And then they just shoot him and he dies. Why amp it up? Like, at least have him do some crazy, like, shit where he jumps in the air and, like, jumps on the roof and punches Tyrese in the face and kicks some other girl in the chest or something. No, he just gets shot and he's dead. And then, obviously, you have, like, your two token black guys who... I mean, there was two of them, so I thought at least one was going to live, and I thought it'd be Tyrese because he's a bigger actor. And there's this other guy, his name is Percy in the movie. I don't know his real name. He has a hook on his left hand. And it's funny because the guy who plays Michael, he says... when they're all going to shoot the guns, he's like, make sure you hold it tight or your hand's going to blow off. And they all look at him, and he's like, what the hell are you looking at? Anyways, so they're like, him and Tyrese are having like this bonding moment on the roof. And, you know, Percy's like, my dad told me every night before bed that if I wasn't proud of what I've become, I should get my my life squared away tomorrow because I might not wake up the next day. Whatever. He gives this speech. You know he's gonna die. And so there's other lady there whose husband got bit in the neck. The guy ends up getting dragged out by the people who are possessed by angels. And then the mother's just an idiot. They should have killed her. First of all, if Michael knows everything about everyone, he should have known that the mother was crazy, and he should have just popped her up too. Anyways, it's a movie, he doesn't. She ends up seeing her husband tied upside down to a cross with like these bubbles pulsating on his face. Yeah. And so anyways, sorry I was interrupted. She's like these bubbles like pulsating on his face, and you don't know what it is. I kind of had an idea what it was, and she was going to run towards him. I thought it was going to be like acid or something. So she runs towards him. Percy runs out, grabs her. As soon as she got close enough, he grabs her, turns around. All the bubbles burst. It's acid all over his back. Percy's dead because of that dumb bitch. Thanks for killing off the cool guy with the hook for a hand. So then Tyrese actually dies too because this like van pulls up and it's a dad and a kid, and the dad gets hit by a car because all these crazy like people from a dirt track come, and they're all like they're like biker people. They all come and like they're circling this guy and his kid, but it's actually they were a part of the whole thing. They were the bait. Tyrese jumps out because he wants to save the kid, and he has the kid in his arm and he's shooting all the guys. And then the kid goes voodoo and rips his neck off, and Tyrese is dead. And come on, this is the same thing as Quarantine. My Quarantine. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Everyone else besides the people who you were with should die because they're all part of the same game. Whatever. So like all this crap happens, but the movie was very spotty. Like things were just said that they were supposed to figure it out. Like Michael comes and Michael's not telling anybody what's going on. He's only giving enough information, to get them moving along, and gets to the point where Gabriel comes and Michael fights Gabriel, and he tells the kid who's from Fast and the Furious to figure out how to read the prophecy and read it, and he's like, what are you talking about? And he leaves, and then Michael fights Gabriel, and they have this, actually, it's a pretty sweet battle. It's probably the best scene in the movie. Gabriel has this mace, and it does all this crazy stuff. He like clicks it once, and the mace expands, then more blades pop out. This one part where he has it against Michael's head, and he turns it, and the blades start to spin, and then the final finishing move, Michael was on Gabriel's back, choking him out. Gabriel takes his mace, puts it to his chest, twists it, and a spike goes through the front, goes through him, and then goes through and kills Michael, because Michael cut his wings off, which if you watch Dogma, you know if Angel cuts off his wings, he becomes mortal and can die. So Michael dies, and then the Fast and Furious kid and the girl with the baby are driving away, and all Michael's tattoos appear on the kid from Fast and Furious, and he's like, oh my god, here's the prophecy, I gotta learn how to read it, blah blah blah. Gabriel tries to kill them. They're fighting. The Fast and Furious kids fighting Gabriel on the side of this cliff, and then all of a sudden when he's about to die, Michael comes back down from heaven. You talk, Gabriel leaves, and then Michael's like, you were always the true protector. And then the movie ends, and there's a bunch of guns in the back of a car, and kid from Fast and Furious and the chick and the baby, because the baby was born about halfway through the movie, are leaving. And yeah, my explanation's kind of spotty, because like I said, the movie was spotty. I hate when movies try and cram a ton of crap in at once just to make a movie out of it. Get the storyline down, but I will say, if you do see it, you will appreciate the acting from Michael, because Michael did a great job. I wish I remembered your name, I'm sorry, but you did great. So that's it, check it out, watch it, let me know what you think, and yeah, later.